Yes, we're live. I love this iPad from the Raiders. It's a beautiful gift, Christmas gift, this iPad. Love it. What's happening, everyone? Everybody good? Robert Salah. Yeah, I'm not happy with the Yankees, man. Yankees are. I don't have any confidence. I haven't had any confidence with the Yankees all year. None. I wanted Aaron Boone to be fired. If he loses, he will. But I still want to win more than firing Boone.
Attention plumbers, HVAC, DIYers, and construction pros. McFadden Industrial Hardware has everything you need.
Give me 1 second, everybody.
South Decatur and Russell. McFadden Industrial Hardware, your one-stop shop to get the job done. McFadden Industrial Hardware. Get in, get out, and get to work.
Ron White, live. If your eyes go bad, you can have LASIK surgery. I give you 20/20 vision.
What's going on, Bobby?
But let me tell you something.
Good.
You can't fix stupid.
Saturday, December 7th, the Chelsea at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas.
Didn't sleep tonight because season starts tomorrow.
Hockey starts tomorrow. Home?
Yeah.
For mature audiences. Calling all Raider fans. The first ever.
All right. Just sending a text to a buddy. We'll get this thing going. We don't have any Robert Salah sound. I'd like to get some, so I'll see what's going on with Rappaport or Schefter on that.
Come check out the perfect game day experience. The Raiders Tavern and Grill at every resort. This is where Raider Nation comes to play all year long. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Raiders Tavern and Grill is independently operated by every resort.
This is Raider Nation Radio, 920 AM, the home of Raider Nation.
This is JT from the
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the driver's seat here. Stay safe for all of our Florida friends. Yes. My parents delayed their trip. They were supposed to fly today to Naples, Florida, and they canceled, which we insisted that they do because you don't want to fly into a hurricane. But they were willing to fly into a hurricane. I had to remind them that can't fly into a hurricane because you might not have power. People forget the hurricane is not at times the problem. It's the 4 to 5 days with no power after the hurricane. All right. You know, I'm talking about doing this mini monologue for everybody who gets in here early. Cisco, awesome. Good to see you here. Here's the deal. This is a big week for the Raider people who are here. You have to win this game to get to 3-3. 3-3 doesn't solve any problem. Doesn't solve anything. But what it does is it gets you in the middle of the AFC. Right smack in the middle of everything. You understand that? So you might not like the team. You don't like the quarterback. You don't like the coach. Blah, blah, blah. 3-3, you're right smack in the middle of everything. And look, there are a lot of teams on the Raiders schedule who are a train wreck right now. Jacksonville, Cincinnati, Miami. Those are games, if you would have said Cincinnati, Miami, most Raider fans would have been, they're both on the road. They might not win. Those teams might be gone. They might be checked out by then. But 3-3 has to happen because if not, 2-4, it's going to be not impossible, but hard. Hard. So I hope there's some positivity here because I'm going to be positive because 2-4, you know where we're going after if this team goes there. So I'm going to go 3-3. I'm going balls out 3-3.
Las Vegas.
You're listening to the
All right,
JT
how
the
long is
Brick
that gonna be?
Show
where the Raider Nation has come to sound off and react for over 20 years.
It's the JT the Brick Show, broadcasting live from the Finley Cadillac Performance Studio, your silver and black home to sound off for over 25 years. And now, here's JT the Brick.
Out of the gate, JT. Good to have you today as we begin the show straight up at noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern on our global flagship of the Raiders, which you can listen to on the Raiders mobile app, LV Sports Network, or watch the show live on my YouTube channel, which I'm really excited about because we're seeing growth. We got good people in there. We do the mini monologue before every show so you can see what we're doing. And it's just different and something we're embracing here. You can subscribe for free. It's really easy. It's one click and you watch the show. Even if you're driving, you can have it up there, concentrate on the road, and you can go back and watch it on demand, JT the Brick YT. Excited today. Every year I get inspired when Simon Keith comes in studio with me. We do it every year once. Simon Keith is the first athlete in the world to play a professional sport, soccer, after receiving a heart transplant and recent heart kidney transplant recipient. He's a good friend. I MC his event every year, and it's the 10th annual. The fact that this gentleman is alive, he's alive after these. He had his second heart transplant, completely new heart. Imagine that. Let that sink in for a second. He's a motivational speaker. He inspires others. He raises a lot of money, and he counts on me to help in a small way to help promote it. He'll be in studio at 1 o'clock. I'll have him from 1 to about 1:25, as long as he wants to stay, because we talk about life and all that. It's very inspiring to hear this gentleman speak and what he's going to do here. This foundation with the golf tournament, which is a lot of fun. Every year, it's held at Revere Golf Club. I'll be off on Friday playing golf in the tournament and emceeing the banquet. Harry Ruiz, the Latino voice of the Raiders, will be in for me. So I love doing charity work, and I love telling people the work I do. Some people don't. They say they like their charity to be quiet. No. I'm the opposite. I like to tell people what I'm doing charity-wise, so maybe you'll do the same and come to some of these events. The Bolitnikoff Crab Feed, Coaches versus Cancer, Gridiron Greats I do every year with Mike Ditka, all the work I do for the Raiders that they invite me to their charity events, because charity is important to me and my wife and my family, and we want to inspire people to do more in the community. There are many more people that do more than me in the community. I try to do my best. I can probably do more. If you ask me down the road and you have something that I could help you raise money for, I would love to be a part of that. Some things I can't do. There's some conflicts, but overall I can when it comes to a good cause. And hey, we got a good cause going on now because it's got to raise a lot of money. What's happening with the storm that's coming to Florida and what's happened in North Carolina and all that. So I was talking about one of my best friends. He's my stockbroker. I was a former stockbroker, and his son-in-law took a San Diego fire department engine with a bunch of guys from San Diego, and they drove cross country to help with some of the relief. I said, wow. I mean, that's pretty amazing. You don't fly to the fire. You don't fly to the flood. They had to drive with these incredible giant relief fire trucks to help people, and it took them days to get there, but they're on the ground helping people. That's what we want to do here. And the Raiders do a lot when it comes to helping people, man. They do. Mark Davis, Al Davis, Mrs. Davis, they've written so many checks that you're not aware of to help people in any way that they could. So I wanted to talk about that. Also, first hour of the show, Jeff Sherman will join us over at the Westgate. We'll take a look at the moving odds. We do gambling every week, 2 or 3 times a week. And then we're going to have Bill Williamson, the longest standing insider in Raider history. There's no one been covering the Raiders longer than Bill Williamson that I know of. And he'll join us coming up, I believe, at 1:30. Yeah, 1:30 Pacific time. And then we'll take your phone calls as we get going here at 702-365-9200. One day I'll come in here and every phone line will be full. And I'm going to quit that day. I'm going to go to Natalie, going to go to my wife and say I'm retiring, which I can, and say I'm done. I accomplished my goal. Until then, I'll remind you I have a working phone number for fans who want to interact with me, or I'll just talk for 2 hours. And we got a podcast now with this show, which is live on YouTube. So here we go. This is going to piss some people off, but I don't care. I need a win. Said I need a win on Sunday. I'll be hosting the pregame from the Torch. I have 2 tickets. That I pay a lot of money for in the Twitch Lounge. I got my son and my wife at the game. I'm invested with this team winning games. I am not joining the other side, the dark side, talking about quarterbacks of the future, decay of the franchise, fire this guy, fire that guy, trade him. No, I'm not going to do it. I got to get a win. 3-3 works for me now. It doesn't work for me long term. I can't promise you anything, week 7 or 8, but I can promise you a win here to get the Raiders to 3-3. It puts them right in the middle of the AFC. Right in the middle of the AFC with chaos all around them. Chaos everywhere. All you got to do is get to 3-3 and you sit around and you go back home. Yeah, you don't have it in the locker room. I wouldn't recommend it now, but you go home and have a cigar. You go have a nice bottle of something. You sit in your backyard in Southern Highlands where all the rich players live, right? All the rich players live in Southern Highlands. You sit in your backyard with a bottle of Woodson bourbon whiskey, a bottle of wine. You have a cigar and say, we're 3-3. And then you start texting your teammates going, hey, man, we're 3-3. We beat the Steelers, we beat the Ravens, and we beat the Browns. We're undefeated in the AFC North. That's all I got. Because after that, 2-4, I can't work much with that. Then I have to get into my grid. Rich Gannon on Monday, Lincoln Kennedy on Wednesday, Levi Edwards on Wednesday, a gambling insider, blah, blah, blah. And then I have to go through, not the motions. I never go through the motions, but I can't do much with 2-4. Because 2-4 becomes 2-7 or 3-8 or 4-9. And I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of winning. So this is a monster game. So Bobby's saying to me before, you're going to break out the must win? Yeah, I'm going to do that again. Didn't break it out for Denver. Right. I didn't like the Denver game because I knew they were bringing everybody back, painting the end zones with the old thing, wearing the throwback jerseys. And eventually Denver's going to win a game. I didn't think we about to go up 17-3 and throw it to them and then not play after that. I didn't think that would happen. I think they would have won up 17-3. I really do. But, you know, I got idiots here. I got idiots here talking draft picks on my YouTube thing. Oh, let's talk about the draft. I got to deal with those knuckleheads who want to talk about the draft and tanking and sending me memes of tanks going off cliffs, right, and all this stuff. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be positive here because you need a couple of positive guys here. Who cares if like a handful of guys, less than half of 1% call me a shill because I have a job with the team and I want the team to win. Who cares about them? I'd rather be positive and help the team in a tiny, tiny way. I don't think I have a big role, but one of my roles is to hope that the team wins and inspire the fans to have something to look forward to. And then the fans who check out, I always welcome them back. Got to block a few of them. And getting personal about the owner or the coach because they never get personal to the owner or coach to their face. So we block them or we send them a DM and tell them how lame they are and then we move on. Right? We want to win this game. Got to win this game. Now, fortunately, here's the good news. The good news is the Steelers have a terrible offense. I mean, terrible. But a lot of people think we, the season ticket holders of the Raiders, we got a terrible offense too. That's the good and the bad, right? Both teams struggle on offense. Both teams struggle. Okay, I can deal with that. Defensively, they're better than the Raiders because of their depth and their health. But the Raiders, when fully healthy, and I don't have an update on Christian Wilkins. I don't have an update on Divine Diablo. You know, I don't have an update on some of the guys who went down, but I'm assuming Max played well. So we got Max back. Tyree's playing a little bit better every week. Nate Hobbs is eventually going to show up and play a big game, right? Eichenberger, or the guys who were trying to play who were young, interesting. Trayvon Merrick has been playing hard. So the defense is better for Pittsburgh, but the Raiders is okay. It's okay. It was supposed to be. Remember the people who were telling me in Costa Mesa it'd be a top 5 defense? No, not. Sorry. It's not a top 5 defense. Too many guys are hurt. You can't even put a team out on the field. You can't be a top 5 defense. Oh, and now you're starting to have penalties? Oh, we got to clean that up this week. Got to clean that up. Term I hate. Like it's a spill on aisle 3 at Smith's or at Albertson. We got to have someone come in with a mop and clean it up. I'm done with cleaning it up. We're done with cleaning up stuff. We don't have to clean stuff up. We want to pay tickets and see a good product. We have not seen a good football game this year. Oh, my God, I just said it. We have not seen a good football game all season long. How the hell is that? I mean, Baker Mayfield lost to Atlanta. They played great. Tampa Bay and lost, and they lost. We don't play great games when we win. We play one quarter, couple of drives. When are we going to put a football game together? They are paid coaches, players to play football, and every once in a while, you have a bad game. But you mostly play pretty good. We're not playing good. We're just playing poorly, and we're not playing complimentary football, and we're not showing the fans any hope that this is getting better, because every time we believe that it's going to get better, they get boat raced, and they don't show up against Carolina or Denver after the first quarter. So all I'm looking for is a good football game. That's it. I just want to see a good game. 31-28, touchdowns, Brock Bowers in the end. I want to see some good football. Will this be the week? Probably not. This is the week where it's probably going to be ugly. So let's muck it up. Let's muck it up. Let's make it really dirty. Let's make it dirty like the Padres did to the Dodgers. Let's get someone to walk around saying we're going to go beat the Steelers. Let's have someone step out on a ledge or step out on a limb, because that's where the fruit is. Other than me, let's have someone step out there and say we're going to win the game. Now, we want to win the game. No, we're going to win the game. Well, only Mark Messier does that and Joe Namath does that. Most don't. Did Mark Stone do that once? I think he might have done that for the Golden Knights. He might have done that once. But no one on this team wants to put their neck out and say we're going to win, we're going to play a good football game, other than one guy, Antonio Pierce, who I'll interview exclusively tomorrow. He'll tell me right to my face what's not going on, and then he'll tell me how they're going to win the game, and then he'll look at the camera and tell the Raider fans, hey, man, we'll let you down, but we need you out there for us. Promise you that's what's going to happen tomorrow, and I like that. So how do you beat the Steelers? That's the show. I need callers. I need tweets. I need people in my YouTube. How do we win this game? I'm not spending 2 days on Denver. I'm done. I moved on from Denver. We're done. We're done. Okay, misery loves company. I'm not miserable today. I got a guy coming in here who had 2 heart transplants. How dare he come in the studio and find me miserable talking about Bo Nix 5 minutes before he comes in? Not going to happen. We're going to talk about how to beat the Steelers. I don't know the status of the injuries. There's too many guys injured. I don't know if Zamir White's getting better yet. I don't know when Michael Mayer's going to be available. I don't know the condition of what's happening with others. But I can just say that the Devante news is heating up. I have nothing more to say from a Raider perspective on it, other than the fact that everybody on ESPN and Fox thinks that a deal is imminent and that the Raiders want a second-round pick. They're pretty firm on that. They're very firm on that. And other insiders are saying you're not going to get a second. You'd like to get a second. You're probably going to have to take something else for it. That's what we're waiting for. I wouldn't pay a penny of Devante's salary if he leaves. The other team has to do that. Devante's got to decide who he wants to play for. Let me get this straight. The Jets are a train wreck. They fired their coach today, Robert Salah. You want to fly into New Jersey? You want to leave the ridges in Summerlin and fly into Jersey, where the weather's going to be cold, rainy, and miserable until next summer? Or do you want to fly to New Orleans, where they lost 3 in a row, and go play in New Orleans and play for a team that's lost 3 in a row and has Dennis Allen there? So with everything that's happening here, pretty confusing. I talked to an insider off the record that believes that Devante and his agent might want to go to L.A. to have some of that Netflix money, Netflix life, Hollywood, red carpets, production companies. I said, really? He goes, oh, yeah, they all do now. Just forget about Devante. They all do. James Harden, LeBron James. They all want to move to L.A. They want to live in Hollywood. They all want to be on TV shows, and they all want to build their brand. I don't think the Rams are a good fit. They're a train wreck right now. So I'd take the Rams out, and I don't think Tom Telesco is going to trade him to the Chargers. I mean, stranger things have happened. I doubt it. And I know he's not going to get traded to Kansas City. I would hope so there, or someone's going to have to come in here and take me out in a straitjacket if that happens. So I think the decision about where to move Devante got really complicated last night when New Orleans and Derek Carr got banged up, and New Orleans had nothing. And New Orleans now is under 500, and Dennis Allen is back on the hot seat. I don't know. Where else is he going to go to? Baltimore? Possibly. Is Baltimore going to give up a 2? I don't know. He's not going to the Patriots. Does he want to go back to the Packers? That'd probably be a good fit for Devante. Go back to the Packers. They got a banged up wide receiver. Go back home. So we're gonna try to figure out what's gonna happen here. But I can tell you this: the coach isn't gonna tell me anything, and Devante's not gonna say anything, and we're gonna have to count on Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport to tell us where he's gonna go. They all believe it's gonna happen this week. It doesn't have to happen this week. We're nowhere near the trade deadline, and everything runs through Mark Davis, and Mark Davis will set the price or give his opinion here, and Tom Telesco will try to get Mark Davis, if he's going to move him, if the best that he can get for it. But most people have moved on. At least I think most people have moved on from Devante and the Raider Nation. I haven't. I mean, I would hope that this would be like brokered peace. Like you see brokered peace. A flight goes out somewhere in the world. Someone gets off the plane. They broker a new deal. I wish someone would say to Devante, after the Raiders beat the Steelers and are 3-3, say, hey, man, you want to stick around? Hamstring's feeling better? We're 3-3, right in the middle of this thing, and we're not going to trade you. Or we're not going to give you what you think you want. We want you here. Don't know. Everything is there on the table. So that's where we're going to go on this. And then how do the Raiders win? I don't know how the Raiders can win without Zamir White and Michael Mayer and some of the other guys that we're talking about. I don't know how they can win without 6 to 7 frontline starters. And we'll find out what's going to happen with Christian Wilkins after the foot injury. So I don't know. I just think what they have to do is they have to hope if Justin Fields plays, that Max is able to get to him, which he will, and then Justin Fields throws up a couple of bad passes, which he will, and pick it off, because the Raiders are terrible at turnovers and interceptions. I mean, the last guy around here who could intercept the ball seems like Mike Haynes or Lester Hayes. Charles Woodson, excuse me, and a little bit of Nnamdi Asomugha. It's been a long time since we had someone wear those colors who knows how to get to a football. It's hard. Other teams seem to have everybody. We got to get to the football in this game and hope that. Now, if Russell Wilson plays, that could be really interesting, because Russell Wilson's a good quarterback, but he hasn't played. So he would be very, very rusty, you would think. He'd be stationary in the pocket. He doesn't run the way he used to, but he's accurate. He's more accurate than Justin Fields. They have Najee Harris. Najee Harris can come into Allegiant Stadium and run for 140 yards. He can. He can do that. So you better tackle him, because guys, business decisions. Got guys on the team who clearly didn't play at Antonio Pierce's level. Now they have to pad up and hit hard. And how do you hit hard when you can't put pads on in practice because everybody's hurt? Even Luke Masterson, right? So what are you going to do? Bring up a bunch of practice squad guys and say, go tackle? What's that going to do? You got to tackle Najee Harris. You don't have a guy on the Raiders practice squad who's Najee Harris. So this game, the Raiders have to find a way to do what they did last week. Coaches did an exceptional job preparing them to have a 17-3 lead. They did it all. They dotted every I, crossed every T. It was perfect. Team came out of the tunnel, A, prepared to play, B, emotional, and C, they got off to a great start. Coaches did their job. Now it unraveled. Why didn't the coaches be able to stop the bleeding and get the players to play better and come back when it was, a one-score game? Why did it get so ugly? Well, that's something that we can talk about, right? You could talk about that. I don't know. Did they check out? I don't play football for a living. I never call out a man and say he checked out. But if the coach benches a guy because he's not allowed to play the first quarter of a game because it was a business decision, we can talk about that. Jack Jones, and then he came back to play. So as I look at all this, Antonio Pierce yesterday talked about the quarterback position, and I guess as of I come into the studio today, he hasn't made up his mind yet.
Yeah, just keep evaluating what you film, evaluate everything from scheme, players, everything. So we're still doing that upstairs currently.
All right, so I can only deal with what he said, and then what I ask him tomorrow. So yesterday they spent evaluating film. So does that mean they're not going to go with Aiden O'Connell, who I think is the right choice? Did they see something on film with Gardner Minshew? Yeah, they saw the first drive, the first 8 for 8. They saw a lot of good things on film until the wheels came off with the pick 6 interception. So was that a company line what he said, hey, we're still evaluating the film, or is it true, or do they want to wait later in the week? Wink, wink. Wait later in the week because they don't want Pittsburgh to start preparing for either Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew. I think you know the answer to that. I think it's Aiden O'Connell time. You have one chance for a pop. one chance to make a move that could affect the team emotionally, because you already played Aiden in a couple of games in mop-up duty. So why don't you just announce him and then get the whole Raider Nation going, hey, Aiden's pretty good. And then if you start backtracking, like I need to, because I wanted Gardner Minshew. Yes, I wanted Jimmy Garoppolo. When Jimmy Garoppolo started, better than Aiden O'Connell all day long. He won 4 playoff games, 1 NFC championship game, played in the Super Bowl. Wasn't close. And then Jimmy deteriorated, played poorly, and got injured. Well, Gardner's not injured, but his play is deteriorating. He's not playing as good as he played in Jacksonville or Indy. And I was led to believe that he would play better than he played when he was a backup in Indianapolis, Philadelphia, and Jacksonville, because he was named starter of the famed Silver and Black. Opportunity of a lifetime. Hasn't worked. So you make a change. You go with Aiden O'Connell and you hope he gives you pop. Hope he comes out there, scripted plays. Oh, I love Aiden with the 10 scripted. Comes out here, first 10 balls, scripted, gets the ball going. Beautiful. But I don't know who the quarterback is as I sit here on Tuesday. So all of this is happening. I'm trying to figure out how to beat Pittsburgh. And if we do beat Pittsburgh, we're beautiful. We're 3-3. There's a whole bunch of teams that are probably better than the Raiders. Let me get that point in. Probably better than the Raiders, that the Raiders have a better record than. That'd be pretty cool. And then at 3-3, you look at it after 6 games, you got 11 left. And you go, wow, I could work with that, man. 3-3, you got 11 games left. I can work with that. You could too, right? You all sit around and look at that and go, yeah. All right, we got the 3-3. Let's get to 4-4. Let's get to 6-5. And we got something to work with. It's hard to work with 2-4 if you can't beat Justin Fields and you can't beat Bo Nix and you can't beat Andy Dalton. My job doesn't get more difficult. Please don't worry about me. I'm fine. But I worry about you and the Raider Nation because I want you to see better football. And we got a big topic this week, the potential trade of Devante Adams, and we got nothing to go with. Normally you got something to go with here. We got nothing to go with. Yeah. No one seems to know yet. So how do you beat Pittsburgh? All week long. I don't want everybody to call in every day, but sprinkle it in. I want your phone calls or your tweets or your social media to be you telling me how we, Raider Nation, can win the game. Because I got a famous Raider fan who came on my Twitter today and said Pittsburgh by 40. So I jumped in his DMs. Why? Why would I jump in a guy's DMs? I said, you're a fan? You're a pretty famous fan. You said 40? He said, I was just looking to have fun. I go, oh, really? That's fun for you. That's fun for you coming on my timeline where people can see it saying Pittsburgh by 40, and you believe you're a famous Raider fan. Wow. Some people like different types of comedy, man. Bobby and I like George Carlin. Google him, right? Some people don't. Some people like Kevin Hart. We got comedians around here. We got fans around here who have the Raider logo next to them and holding up a baby with a T-shirt that says Raiders, ripping their team on social media, ripping their team. We have that going on now. That only happened because someone invented the internet. A lot of people claim to have invented the internet. Jack Dorsey invented Twitter. Mark Zuckerberg invented Facebook. China, I think, invented TikTok. But whoever did thought that was a launching pad for wise-ass wannabe comedians to rip their own teams throughout professional sports. You should have saw me come unhinged on the Yankees last night. Oh. So Rodon starts for the Yankees. First inning, he strikes out 3, sticks his tongue out. Gets the third out, sticks his tongue out, and starts pumping his fist. I said, oh, boy. Whitey Ford's never done that. Ron Guidry never did that. CC Sabathia never did that. Catfish Hunter never did that. And I got this clown in the Bronx jumping up and down. He got blown out in the 3rd inning. Didn't even finish the 4th inning. Okay. So I went to Twitter. I was pretty upset about that. So that's where we're at today. Got to wake you up because you're not ready for the show yet. 702-365-9200. We'll get you in here with Raider O. He starts us off in San Diego. What's happening?
Hey, JT. It's a rough week. The real Raider fans were hanging in there.
Mm-hmm.
And, it seems like not too long ago we saw a glimpse of what our offense could be. Weapons, being able to be used coming out in Baltimore. But that seems like forever now. I think what we really need is consistency. We got to be able to string 2 wins together, and that's consistency in how we're playing mentally and physically. Stop making mistakes. You've got to win the physical battles. We've got to be able to stop a pass rush of 4 guys when we have 5 guys blocking. We just got to. And once we do that, I think that, we look at the play where we threw the pick. We had 2 guys attacking the zone, like one underneath, one on top. One was open. We just couldn't hit our man. So I'm all for Aiden. I think that he's going to give us a little bit better chance now. We've given Gardner a chance. And, if this was youth sports, you sub someone in, give him a chance. He's had a couple of games. It hasn't worked. We've got to see what we got in Aiden.
Yeah, I would agree with pretty much everything you said. You got to block. You got to have the main blockers block. You got to block 5-on-4, maybe keeping a back to chip with T.J. Watt on that side. I'm for that. But they're good on the back end. They're really good. Their linebackers are always better than the Raiders, and their defensive secondary is better than the Raiders. So you got to have really crisp routes. You got to get some separation. And they're probably not going to try to add too many people to the pass rush. I don't think Pittsburgh thinks they're going to blitz a lot. They're going to sit in coverage, because if they can sit in coverage, they're going to think that, the Raiders aren't going to be able to beat them over the top. That's why we call on Trey Tucker to get open over the top. So maybe it opens up the middle of the field. It's a monologue. It was a good one. Appreciate everybody who tuned in, watched, and listened. Brought to you by PTs. They fuel the monologue. They have a brand new Great American Pub right off Buffalo. It's fantastic. I've been there 2 or 3 times. Had lunch there. They serve ice cold Modelo. They got a lot of sports on. Great place to watch a baseball game, a Golden Knights game. Remember, PT's proud partner of the Vegas Golden Knights, and they start Thursday. Or they start with the home opener. Tomorrow they start. Home opener, you said, on Thursday? Okay. Talk, Bobby. Tell me. I don't have the night schedule in front of me.
Okay, so the Golden Knights schedule, regular season starts tomorrow. They play Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday this week. The first game is a home game.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So we got some Golden Knight action. We got a great relationship with the Golden Knights. They'll get us a coach or a player, I'm assuming, here pretty quickly. When we come back in a little bit, about 10 minutes, Jeff Sherman will join us at the Westgate. We'll take a look at the odds of the Raiders in this game. Raiders-Pittsburgh. You betting the total, the over, the under? We'll get you up to speed with that. The Aces are out. I don't care much about the WNBA odds after the Aces are out. UNLV dropped out of the top 25. Some of the college football gaming he'll get into. And then we'll have Simon Keith in studio at the top of the hour.
It's the morning tailgate.
Talking to our Monday morning cornerback, Eric Allen.
When you turn the lights on, the ants will keep on marching to the same beat. They're going to keep on going to wherever they need to go. That line's not going to be disrupted.
Yeah, we can do that.
Roaches, on the other hand, when those lights come on, those roaches scatter. And right now, this football team.
Surfer Bob, you have no idea that Adams was never hurt, and Big Mike quit on the team. Personal issue with him, so wait till you get some information before you throw out bullshit like
Treasure
that.
Island has some of the best
I don't
food
think
and
that's
entertainment
nice.
in Vegas.
Oh, yes,
Enjoy
you do?
Phil's Steakhouse,
All
a
right,
classic
Surfer Bob,
steakhouse
where's your
that features
podcast
prime
where I
cuts
can
of
get
meat,
your take
seafood, and Italian
on a
specialties.
camera about
Treasure
who's
Island
hurt
is
and
also
who's
home to
not hurt?
Billy's,
Let me know.
a longtime
Let me know when
favorite
that
of
hits
tourists
YouTube,
and
and I'll
locals.
sign up
A
and
honky-tonk
subscribe. Thank you,
atmosphere
buddy.
with live music and dance floor for 2-step-in and line dancing. Check out their toughest cowboy competition every Thursday with $200 up for grabs. Treasure Island, where parking is free. Visit Treasure Island and experience the best value on the strip.
You know Taylor better than you, bro? Asking yourself, who's Taylor? Taylor Swift? Who's Taylor? What am I missing out on?
Welcome
with
to
Taylor?
Salmon Ash, the new standard for personal injury law, where things are done the right way.
Oh.
Because you deserve
You want to
a
go
team
throw
that
that guy's
delivers
name up
real
here on my
support
show
and results. When you have both,
jeopardize
your
him?
whole world
Really?
can change. So if
People
you've
give
been
Surfer
hurt in a
Bob a
crash,
break today.
call
He broke
Salmon
the
Ash,
cardinal rule. 702-303-0333. Trying to expose a friend of mine. So we'll get rid of him today.
Because you deserve what's right.
This is JT for Grimaldi's, New York-style coal-fired brick oven pizza that you crave. 4 locations here in the Valley: Summerlin in Boca Park, on the Strip at the Palazzo, Southwest Las Vegas on South Rainbow Boulevard, and Green Valley on Southeastern Avenue.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home,
All right.
retiring.
Political ads on my radio show. Okay.
So let me tell you what I will do about it as president.
Yeah.
I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of healthcare insurance. We capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead, and that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
Hey guys, if you're getting less sleep, have less energy, and lower self-esteem, you're not alone. You might have low testosterone. The good news is you can find out for free. Right now, Game Day Men's Health Las Vegas is giving a free testosterone test and consultation. That's a $200 value. If you do have low T, the Game Day medical professionals offer treatment that's easy and affordable. Call or text 725-777-2166 and take advantage of this free test through October 12th or visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
My name is Dustin. I'm the head designer for Cody James, and this is Behind the Design with Boot Barn. The Cody James boots are made in Leon, which is known as the cowboy boot capital of the world because of their long history of making handcrafted cowboy boots. As far back as the 1700s, they've been making quality boots. So those craftsmen, artisans are literally passing down those skills from generation to generation.
Yeah, I was a fan of paying $1 million for Russell Wilson because it was only $1 million.
By the way, there's a second string quarterback for that played last week. They'll probably put him before Wilson.
Yep.
Tom got a new ride. Hey, Tom, sweet ride. Thanks, Jim.
Hey, Tom, sweet ride.
That's Meg's girlfriend.
The half dozen all the story
Did
these
Tom get a
days.
raise?
Mhm.
Did he win the lottery? Nah, I just got a sweet loan from One Nevada Credit Union. Smart move, Tom. Thanks. They have great terms, low rates, and an easy approval process. All I needed to do was find a
Yeah, we got to open up the pass. I put up the caller number if you guys want to call in.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show.
Oh, tired.
Brought to you by PTs. The best happy hour in town, 5 to 7 p.m. and midnight to 2 a.m.
You've got Trevor Siemian in your building. Why not give him a try?
No, I got you. No, it's again a fair question, and it's like I said, he I don't know. You got me. I'm gonna plead the fifth on all this one in terms of just I've kind of explained it, respectfully, obviously, but it's they're valid questions, bud, and I know from a passionate fan, from fans who are passionate, all having the same questions, I respect it greatly.
All right, that's Robert Salah, who got fired today. He was on the Michael Kay show last year with Zach Wilson. Should have been benched, and he didn't have an answer on the flagship station. Kind of have to do that when you're the head coach. So let's talk about why Robert Salah got fired. Why did he get fired? Because he got fired because Aaron Rodgers is in charge of the entire organization. We told you that the day Robert Salah got hired, I went on this platform and my Mad Dog platform and told you he would be fired before Aaron Rodgers was traded or retired. I said it the first day. And Robert Salah is a really good defensive coordinator from the 49ers, deserved the opportunity to be the head coach. Has done some nice things here, but he couldn't handle the microphone, couldn't handle the podium. So if you're going to get a job in New York or Boston or Philly, you got to be able to handle the microphone and the fans and deal with it because they have bigger media, more aggressive media, and they come at you 24 hours a day. Robert Salah was subpar at that. Then Aaron Rodgers came in, and Aaron Rodgers wants his own way. He missed a portion of training camp to go to Egypt, right? He likes to play golf. He makes cryptic remarks on the Pat McAfee show, which is really good entertainment. And the owner, Woody Johnson, finally got to the point and said, I've had enough. Our team is dysfunctional. We just lost in London. I got a little bit of familiarity with the coach. Dennis Allen got fired when the Raiders lost in London. Actually got fired when we landed at the airport. I was there for that. In the airport, he was whisked away. That's the way it was done back then. And Robert Salah today was walked out of the Jets facility headquarters with security. And that's what happens maybe in your job in life. I've seen it happen in radio where buddies of mine got let go at radio and Next thing you know, there's someone I don't recognize at the door, and they're not allowed to clean out their office. What do you mean we can't clean out our office? Nope, right out. It's called human resources. And they basically whacked him today, like a scene in Goodfellas with Joe Pesci when he walked in. Got whacked. And he got whacked because Aaron Rodgers was married to the family, the Woody Johnson family, and he's at the top of the family, and basically said, I want Robert Salah gone. Now, they won't admit that. Woody Johnson thinks it's a really talented team. You should see some of the comments that are coming out of this. It's incredible. And, Jeff Ulbrich is going to be the interim head coach. And Woody Johnson said in a statement, this morning I informed Robert Salah that he'll no longer be the head coach of the Jets. I thanked him for his hard work the past 3.5 years, wished him well and his family going forward. This was not an easy decision, but we are not where we should be given our expectations. And I believe now is the best time for us to move in a different direction. Well, they need a spark. So they made a coaching change. Typically, that's what happens. Sometimes a good coach gets fired because you need a spark. And sometimes a coach just gets fired because he's bad. I don't think Robert Salah is a bad coach. He doesn't call the plays. He's a defensive-minded head coach, very similar to Antonio Pierce, who doesn't call the plays on offense and on defense, but he's very active from sitting in with the offensive line, dealing with the defense, former linebacker coach. So this is a really interesting time for the Jets. And if you look at Salah, he was 20-36. Before that, Todd Bowles was 24-40. We're talking about the worst records in the history of the Jets. Bruce Coslett was 26-38. Salah becomes the third NFL coach to be fired after losing a game in London, according to ESPN research. The Raiders fired Dennis Allen in 2014 after they lost 38-14 to Miami at Wembley. The Dolphins fired Joe Philbin, who's now on the Raiders staff, in 2015, the day after they lost to the Jets at Wembley. So now we see another coach fired after a London trip. Well, they always put a London trip in week 5. It's one of the early games. They usually don't put the elite teams there. They put a team that might struggle. So if you get the London game on the schedule week 5, and you got a team that didn't make the playoffs before, keep an eye on that game. Could be the beginning of the end. Jay's in Vegas on 920. Hello, Jay. What's happening?
Hey, thanks for the call, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't making this call because I'm a person that's usually a glasses half full, optimistic. But I'm still pissed off about Sunday's game, and not only am I put a lot of the blame on Minshew for that throw, but for the first time, JT, me personally, I put a lot of this on Coach AP. I need him to be accountable, and the reason why I say that, JT, is this: I go back to last year, man. Kansas City game, high emotions. Great win. And then how do you follow that up with? You follow that up with laying the egg against Indianapolis, a game that had big playoff implications, right? They win that game, they beat Denver, they're possibly in the playoffs. But no, they lay an egg the very next game. And then after that, they beat Denver. A lot of emotions. He's running up and down the field. People are cheering for him. A lot of high emotions, and that's all great. And then we fast forward to the beginning of the year, and then you lay an egg at home. Yeah, LA is home. You lay another egg at home, JT. And then what happens the very next week? Riding the high again, a highly emotional win, and listen, we're talking about smoke our stuff and talk our stuff and all that. And then what happens the next week? You lay an absolute egg, dog crap against the Panthers.
So would you expect to win every game?
No, what I'm looking for is consistency. The man has not been able to string together more than 2 wins. I hate going backwards, JT.
Do you see how many players didn't travel and were hurt last week and injured? I mean, you're at least going to give them credit. I'm allowing you, because I am in my show, allowing you to vent your frustration on the head coach. But are you going to look at some of the other things here too that, he wanted to probably Jaden Daniels couldn't get him. He has these 2 quarterbacks and he had a mass unit last week. But I think it's fair that you give anyone criticism that you want, but just try to balance it out a little bit. Continue.
Oh, absolutely, JT. You're right. Injuries are a big factor. And to be honest with you, mental states are play a big contributing factor. You think Devante Adams stuff isn't distracting? Of course it is. The players themselves said it, and they tried their best, JT. They came out, guns a-blazing, up 10-0, JT. But then You throw that pick six. You throw the pick six, and then this is where I put it on AP. How does the game get away from you? How do you not keep the players focused? How do you how do you not, you tell your offensive coordinator, hey, man, before the half, let's try to go back and get 3 points. Let's try to at least get 3 points to go into the lead in the half. No, what does the offensive coordinator do? He basically gives them the ball, and then it's Denver going into the half.
We know what happened to the game. We reviewed the game. So what do you want to happen in the Pittsburgh game? You got anything positive for Pittsburgh, or are you checked out?
Oh, no. Absolutely. By this metric, I expect that the Raiders are actually going to win.
Okay.
The Raiders, they're going to win this game, and I think they're a better team than the Steelers. But what's going to happen? What's going to happen the next week?
I don't want to talk about next week. I got you to say you're going to win against Pittsburgh. That's all I wanted. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and look at the following week. I don't know who's going to be healthy or not the following week. So that's good. I appreciate you, Jay. You're a very motivated, passionate Raider fan. We need more guys like you. Jermaine, the Uber driver. Want to get him up here quickly. Jermaine, thanks for coming to our Whiskey remote at Whiskey Stadium, and great to meet your wife. How are you?
All right. How you doing, JT? I just wanted to come on and say I think our secondary needs to really tighten it up with the tackles, man. I watched the last game, and it just seems like everybody nowadays just wants to try to rip that ball out all the time, try to hit that ball out, but and that's cool and all, but hey, stop the play. Get the play stopped and done with. Don't let them get 5, 6, 4 yards because you want to swing at the ball instead of wrapping the player up and taking them down. You feel me? And that's what I kind of noticed a lot from Jack Jones this week is that he's just soft. The guy's soft. He's got to tackle, man. He's got to learn how to tackle. Coaching got to get him to get out there and put his body on the line and tackle some people, man. They get paid a lot of money for that,
Yeah, Jermaine, I'm not going to agree that he's soft. I appreciate your call. You're a really good fan, and you show up. Thank you there. The tackling's got to improve. The tackling has been pretty poor overall, Bobby. 67, play that bite here quickly. Antonio Pierce mentioned this yesterday, what the caller said on how to be a little bit tougher when it comes to tackling.
Yeah. Tackling has to improve. I mean, there was, again, late in that game, especially probably like late third quarter, fourth quarter, you saw some guys slipping off tackles. You got to grab cloth. It's all good, punch at the ball. Everybody talks about it, but the most important thing is get the ball carried on the ground.
Yeah, you might want to punch the ball out. You might want to slap it. You might want to do that. No, tackle the guy first. Go tackle. Go make a tackle. Jeff Sherman over at the Westgate. The line is moved in the Raider game. He'll tell you why and what's happening there. We'll go around the league. Kansas City won last night. They're 5-0. Nobody's catching Kansas City. Kansas City's going to lose some games, but no one's catching them. So we got to be in a playoff mode for Pittsburgh, a wild card playoff mode every game. Just wish it didn't happen this early in the season.
Previously on Unnecessary Roughness.
He's got 2 more years left on his deal, but those are, as you mentioned, fluff years. None of it's guaranteed, and the base salary is so
All right. Going to get something to drink here quick. Some of these fans are suspect. AP hasn't lost the locker room. Ruthless. What are you talking about? Nobody respects him. Nobody? You don't think anybody respects Antonio Pierce? Really? These are the people I have to deal with, man. Unbelievable. Ooh, Drake May named the starter, Bobby. The Drake May era is going to start for you. You can't get the guy killed.
Yeah. And that's exactly what's going to happen. They have no offensive line.
Make it a combo for just $2. Just $2 more. You can upgrade with chips and a drink. Get more meal for your money and make your lunch a combo. Head to Port of Subs and add chips and a drink for just $2. Offer available for a limited time only. Visit portofsubs.com or order on our app.
Slice fresh sandwiches. Port of Subs.
Remy Martin is the official cognac of the JT the Brick Show. When you're celebrating any of your team's victories, celebrate with Remy Martin Cognac, XO, VSOP, and 1738. Remy Martin, team up for excellence.
Like you, the Diamond Store in Boca Park has recognized that many jewelers are desperately offering 40, 50, even 60% discounts on their diamond engagement rings. As you know, that's the oldest trick in the book. They just mark it up to mark it down. Or maybe it's because they just carry bad quality diamonds. At the Diamond Store, we only sell hand-picked diamonds of the highest quality in every size and every shape. And here's our guarantee. Because of our direct relationships with the world's best diamond manufacturers, we cut out all the middleman markup, which means we control the entire process from the world's best minds to her finger. And even better, we control the price. This way you don't have to fall for the old marketing tricks. And you can also be assured that you're getting the most stunning diamonds for the lowest prices.
Hey, Jeff, it's
Not
Bobby
only in
with
Las
JT. How you
Vegas,
doing?
but the whole West Coast.
Good,
Our
good.
prices
Good.
simply
Give
cannot
about
be
2 minutes,
beat. At the Diamond Store, your satisfaction lasts a lifetime. We'll be here for you even after the other guys are long gone. The Diamond Store, located in Boca Park, next to Coda Grill.
Businesses across the country are committed to getting things back to how they were. Shift 4 is committed to helping them get there. We're the leader in integrated payment processing, making things safer and more secure for businesses that
All right, man. One more big YouTube segment. What do we got? 175 people in here and only 66 likes. That's half. So pound the like button, as the great Big D would say. Shannon, we got a woman here. Is that a female, Shannon? So if we drafted a quarterback, can he start all 5 games? We're still 2-3. Aiden O'Connell was drafted in the 4th round. He's a good player. So you play him, see if he can keep the job. And if you like him a lot at the end of the year, you still draft a quarterback. If you love him at the end of the year, then maybe you go with Aiden O'Connell. But we've waited around too long to get a star quarterback. So that's why I like putting Aiden in, because I think Aiden can prove or not that he's a star quarterback in the making. Simon's coming in at 1. Simon's coming in at 1.
We pride ourselves on our customer service. Google Battleborn Injury Lawyers and see what our clients say about us. Or call 766-1400 for a free consultation. At Battleborn, your battle is our fight.
Gambler's bonus hits.
Big news day today. Drake May starts. Robert Saleh fired. It's all in the AFC East.
For over $11,000.
Here's coming back.
Okay.
With Gambler's bonus, it's why you play the game. Welcome back.
Sure, it's all set.
Show brought to you by the Black Hole. Become a member of football's most notorious fans.
Not really enough to look at. I think it was 12 passes or so, maybe give or take a little bit more, maybe. Again, I've seen enough of Aiden last year, spring. I know what to expect from Aiden.
Well, will there be a quarterback change in Las Vegas? And will it affect the moving line? JT back here, and we are brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's is my go-to vodka, the original handmade vodka. We welcome in Jeff Sherman, VP of Risk Management over at the Westgate. So, Jeff, let me start with the Raiders now, waiting on a quarterback change or not. That probably doesn't move the line much, and Steelers played late into Sunday night on a delayed game, and they got big travel out to Vegas. How do you have the game?
Yeah, the quarterback change, if there is one, would have no effect on the line. And right now we have the Steelers as a 3-point road favorite. Even money on their side, minus 116 on the Raiders side, total of 36.5. The way the Raiders looked in Denver, we had this line last week, is Pittsburgh 2.5, went up a little bit. But like I said, no change in the spread if there's a quarterback change.
Denver won pretty big there, and the Raiders had an opportunity to go up 17-3. Could have changed the game for the Raiders, but we don't do shoulda, coulda, woulda. Now, Denver's won 3 in a row, but a very bizarre 3 wins in a row for them as you set the lines for them coming up in recent weeks.
Yeah, their power rating has obviously been increasing. Now they're at home against the Chargers here in a tough spot. Chargers laying 3, total 35.5. So, and then they play the following week. They're playing at New Orleans against the banged up Derek Carr, only catching 2.5 in that game. So you've seen a shift where respectable lines in the Broncos games from versus what it was before the season.
How you and your team dealing with the Niners here? I'm struggling to keep up with their injury report when I see it every week. I'm in shock on who they play. They have the Seahawks in week 6 here, and Niners are on the road, and the Seahawks are coming off that devastating loss to the Giants at home.
Yeah, we've really downgraded San Francisco, but this line would have been much lower had Seattle not looked like they did against the Giants. And a very poor performance to lose that game. So we're sitting at San Francisco 3.5 for this game. We could have seen 3 or 2.5 had Seattle just won the game like they should have.
Commanders now, very interesting on how this line looks to me. It really feels like something's off. If you could explain it to me, because the Commanders have an MVP candidate, Rookie of the Year candidate at the Ravens. Ravens started off 0-2. They've won 2 in a row. I think this line has gone at some places. I have yours up here too, but the Ravens were an 8-point favorite. That's down to 6.5. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we're Ravens 6.5, which is actually showing a lot of respect to the Commanders there. To be short of 7 against Baltimore, who's rated as one of the highest teams in the league. So, usually get the public on a team like the Ravens under a touchdown that really wants to tie them up in teasers, money lines, things like that. So to be under 7 is showing a lot of respect for Washington.
Jeff Sherman, VP of Risk Management at our favorite place, the Westgate, the sharpest and best book in town. Let me say that again, the sharpest and the best sports book in town. Really big number for the Eagles, too. Eagles are laying a lot of points against the Browns here. Deshaun Watson's a mess. We saw them out here in Vegas recently. You think that goes even higher than the Eagles minus 8.5 coming up?
It wouldn't surprise me if you see some 9s, 9.5, and that's more of an indictment on Cleveland and Deshaun Watson there because Philly has not been playing great football. So, we had it between 7.5, 9.5, but just the way the Browns have been looking and, got blown off the field by Washington last week, it's been tough to get some Cleveland support behind them, so it might go up a little bit.
And Jeff, one more game I want to ask you about the Lions at the Cowboys here. Cowboys needed a 4th down, a brilliant play. What a long drive by Dak Prescott, and now they're a favorite at home. You get 3 for being at home here, but Lions here, that was my Super Bowl pick before the start of the year. This is a really tough road test for Detroit.
Yeah, and we're actually on the other side of 3 on this Detroit 3.5 now at Dallas. And it's just because Dallas is dealing with so many injuries. It's when you're going up against a high-octane offense like Detroit, we got a high total of 52.5. Dallas really banged up. Hence, you see it on the other side of 3.
Jeff, want to go to college football? I was at the Rebel game against Syracuse. That was wild. Wild game here that went into overtime. But the big one was Vanderbilt. A lot of sharps. I was looking at Twitter before the Vanderbilt-Alabama game, and I saw a lot of sharps love the fact that Vanderbilt could cover, but not outright. Any money line bets there? Did anybody have the guts to go Vanderbilt straight up on the money line? And what was the liability like with Alabama losing that one?
Yeah, we didn't have any money line support on Vanderbilt. And, you've seen how long it's been since they've last beaten them, and there just wasn't anyone that would bite on that. We actually had Vanderbilt getting 22.5. We got Alabama support to close 23.5. So it was actually a good game for the book. And anytime that we didn't have Vanderbilt money line, but we did have Alabama money line parlays as a $16 favorite.
What about the Aces being out there, the local team here in Vegas, and the situation with them going for a 3-peat? That's hard to do, as you know, in any sport. They put up a great fight here along the way, but they lose and move on, and I'm sure there was a lot of local flavor in town betting on the Aces the last couple of years here.
Yeah, we had liability on the Aces futures this year, and it was a deserved win by New York. They've been the best team all season, and they showed it in the playoffs against the Aces. Now they have home court, whether it's against Minnesota or Connecticut, winner tonight. So the Liberty will be favored in the finals, but New York has been the best team all year, and they're expected to win the title this year.
Finally, baseball. I'm a big Yankee fan. They had an opportunity to go up 2-0, got outplayed by Kansas City, and the Padres got a win up in L.A. against the Dodgers. Detroit wins in the 9th on a 3-run homer. Baseball's looking unbelievable. Let's start with the Dodgers and Padres and how you have that series.
Yeah, well, right now we're seeing the Padres minus 130 in the series, plus 110 on the Dodgers. So Padres finally favored coming off the 1-1 split. Padres a decent-sized favorite tonight, $1.50. So if you want people who are in the Dodgers, you're getting plus 135.
Wow. What's 135 on the Dodgers? That's interesting. And what about the Yankees in Kansas City? How has that series price changed?
Yeah, the Yankees are minus 160 still favorites. Kansas City plus 140. And then tomorrow's game, Yankees minus 110, Kansas City even.
Thank you, Jeff. We'll talk to you soon. Always appreciate you.
Okay, thanks, JT.
That's Jeff Sherman, VP of Risk Management. You can find him at the Westgate right there with his team. They do an unbelievable job. Wow, you can You can bet the Dodgers and get good value on the Dodgers with Shohei Ohtani going down to San Diego. I was talking to a buddy of mine as I was driving into work today, and he's a Padres season ticket holder. He usually gives himself an hour to get to the game. He lives in a nice area, North PB, La Jolla. So he's going 2 hours early tonight. So the freeways downtown packed. Everybody coming in. Not even to get in and watch the game. San Diego's got a very vibrant bar crowd right outside the gates. You can go down there without a ticket and act like you're there. You can literally be in the outfield and look in from certain apartments and condos there and watch the game. It is going to be a madhouse there. And they really believe they're going to win. They truly believe that they're going to win. All right, Simon Keith is here. We'll get to him in a second. He's coming up next. We'll talk to him about his life, his motivation, what he's doing to change the world. Very inspiring man. Coming up next, I hope you please listen. Hour number 2 on deck, brought to you by Grimaldi's, the best pizza I've ever had. Thanks, everybody. Get that chair there. Perfect. Thanks, everybody. Got a guest here. You can listen online. Good hour. I'll do a live stream, I think, coming up tonight and tomorrow. I'll tell you about that.